The Woodstock Festival of 1969 is remembered as a cultural landmark of music, peace, and unity. Yet the reality was far from idyllic. Over 3 chaotic days, attendees endured endless traffic jams, ankle-deep mud, scarce supplies, rampant drug use, and unsanitary conditions with overflowing toilets. While it's often romanticized as a harmonious celebration of love and music, the experience wasn't all flower crowns and kumbayas. Beneath the nostalgia lies a messier story, marked by the festival's many challenges and mishaps. The medical team at Woodstock was initially prepared for around 50,000 attendees, but the crowd surged to nearly 500,000. By the end of the weekend, the team had treated an astonishing variety of injuries and conditions. According to the Journal of Emergency Medical Services, there were 797 cases of bad trips, 23 epileptic seizures, 57 instances of heat exposure, and 176 asthma attacks. Foot injuries were also prevalent, with 938 lacerations, 135 punctures, and 346 other random injuries, highlighting the importance of wearing shoes. In addition, CNN reported a woman falling from stage scaffolding and breaking her back. Despite the chaos, the medical team managed the situation efficiently. Remarkably, only 2 fatalities were reported, one from an overdose and the other from a tractor accident. Against the backdrop of 500,000 people, these incidents were relatively few, and many lived to share the unforgettable experience. Woodstock was renowned for its music and mud, but drugs were equally central to its story. Substances weren't just sold, they were often laced into food or drinks and given away, catching unsuspecting festival goers off guard. A nurse described the chaotic scene to the Times Herald Record, highlighting the pervasive presence of unregulated drug use throughout the event. Outside the tent, they were giving out electric Kool-Aid, laced with whatever. A lot of the kids hurt with this stuff were just thirsty. They didn't have any choice. Woodstock organizer Michael Lang admitted exercising caution with everything he ate or drank at the festival, aware that laced food and beverages were widespread among the attendees. He recalled, "I didn't drink anything that didn't come from a bottle I didn't wash or open myself." Modern stadiums typically provide one restroom for every 45 to 50 seats, but Woodstock's facilities were far less accommodating, with just one porta potty for every 833 attendees. Thought Co. reports that lines stretched for an hour, and the overwhelmed toilets spilled raw sewage into the mud, creating a foul mix that flowed downhill into the crowd. The result? A messy, unsanitary situation that became one of the festival's most infamous challenges. Many considered the Grateful Dead one of the festival's weakest performances. Even Jerry Garcia's friend, Phil Sagana, shared with the Times Herald Record that the band's set was a letdown for many attendees. It was the worst show of theirs I'd ever seen. The conditions were less than ideal for a concert, with Grateful Dead drummer Mickey Hart recalling to Goldmine, "It was a very terrible moment for us. The stage was collapsing. It was raining. Jerry Garcia and Bob were getting shocked at the microphones." Woodstock was originally planned for Wallkill, New York, with tickets priced at $18 for 3 days or $7 per day. However, with the event's scale sparking concern, Wallkill residents passed a law banning the concert, forcing organizers to scramble for a new location just 6 weeks before the festival. A dairy farmer in Bethel offered his land, and construction crews rushed to complete the stage, parking lots, concession stands, and even a children's playground. But ticketing wasn't a priority. Before they could set up proper controls, 50,000 attendees had already arrived, setting up camp right by the stage. At that point, organizers abandoned the idea of charging for entry. Woodstock became a free festival, a choice that cemented its legendary status but left the organizers facing financial disaster. The massive scale of Woodstock scared off established food vendors, leaving the organizers to rely on a small group called Food for Love, who lacked experience in handling such events. By Saturday, the vendors had run out of food and resorted to quadrupling hot dog prices from 25 cents to $1. Frustrated by the long waits and inflated prices, some attendees set 2 of their concession stands ablaze. Fortunately, the Hog Farm Collective stepped in to save the day, distributing thousands of cups of granola to the hungry crowd. Their efforts kept the festival from descending into total chaos and ensured attendees didn't go entirely without food amidst the turmoil. The traffic around Woodstock was a nightmare, resembling the chaos of The Walking Dead's opening scene. Politico ranks it as one of the top 10 worst traffic jams in history, with cars backed up for 10 miles on the New York Thruway throughout the entire festival. As congestion worsened, some festival goers gave up on their vehicles, walking the rest of the way and transforming the freeway into a sprawling parking lot. Helicopters were even used to fly in some performers. Meanwhile, local residents found themselves trapped, unable to access their driveways due to the massive number of abandoned cars blocking the roads.